Laughing Man Coffee is Hugh Jackman's company. Not sell the coffee you just drank. Keurig Green Mountain sells that coffee under a branding agreement.
But this
is
coffee
not
is
his.
not his. It's just a brand.
It's a licensed coffee. Interesting.
Again,
Yeah.
it uses his name and
Right. Jace pointed out that that's Keurig Green Mountain selling the coffee under a licensing branding
Yeah.
agreement. This is what I expected, this sort of very distant
Relationship.
maybe based on genuine experience and genuine feeling, but very remote from the coffee. Whereas this little one, the natural, that George C. Romero, the son of George A. Romero, there's a real connection there. The Ralph Lauren interests me because I feel that the coffee expresses a certain aesthetic that I would associate with Ralph Lauren. Fashionable but not extravagant, sort of, solid.
And not modern either. I mean, really, because
Right.
the George Romero is a modern coffee, the natural.
Contemporary, we'd say. I've sort of forgotten. I'm remembering clearly the Ralph Lauren because it was so balanced.
Yeah. There, let me take a sip now that it's ice cold.
It sort of lost it as it cooled.
Yeah, it's not
surprises me.
what it was. Yeah, I know.
Let's see. Number 2 is what?
27 Club, and that's the
Oh, that's right. The pink guitar.
that was Machine Gun Kelly.
Kind of flat.
What's
Just-
left? Yeah.
Yeah, a little roasty and a little flat with a nice finish.
We're at the Bob Marley.
Sweet.
It's still got the
coffee.
sweetness. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Got that going for it.
Not much more.
And then 4 is Romero.
What do you think of it after it's cooled?
I like it less.
Yeah, me too. It's simplified, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The Hugh Jackman Laughing Man is dead, really.
That's the deadest coffee that I know of having had that had a 0% oxygen level.
Yeah. I guess maybe the roast took it out, or the
Something.
yeah.
Went out with the cat.
It has that Colombian hearty. I don't want to use marketing language like hearty, but it's it has a substantial body, substantial mouthfeel.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see much else to recommend it. I'm not real crazy about any of these, but I'd have to put the classic Ralph Lauren coffee and the opposite of classic, the distinctive and contemporary natural from Tanzania, George C. Romero, is my ties for number 1.
Yeah.
What about you?
Okay. Well, I had them reversed. I put the George Romero first, just because I really found it very enjoyable as a hot coffee. Reverse them now, only due to the fact that as cold, I don't care for it that much. Although I didn't like Ralph's quite as much cold either. I didn't like any of these coffees cold. But I thought number 2, I would put Ralph. So we really agree about the kind of tied for first place, except I probably put the natural ahead of Ralph's a little bit.
Yeah, the Ralph Lauren, that classic, subtle classic balance and complexity is sort of gone flat. I'm going to move it back. I'm going to have to say, I hate to be trendy, but I have to say, I mean, this is not trendy anymore because everybody in the coffee insiders are all attacking these kinds of coffees as fruit bombs. In the big picture, it's trendy. So I'll have to go with the trend and say that this is the one I'd drink cold anyhow.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, their constant quest to be unhappy.
It's probably the lightest roasted too.
I kind of think it might be, and yet it's not anything like the kind of sushi style, overly what I sometimes still call a third wave roast, where it's unroasted. You know, it's got the unroasted.
We don't have
peanutty.
those anymore. We don't have any more of those in the true specialty world.
Yeah, I would say
At
so.
Coffee Review, we used to get a lot of them some years back.
Yeah, a
but
few
now
years.
very unusual.
Pre-COVID.
The light roasting is very skillful in most cases now.
Yeah, I would agree. I rarely find it a problem now. This is really, anyway, I like the Romero. I like Ralph's. Either one of those are, I thought, pretty good coffees. I would, hot. And put another veil on them and say, or another dressing on them and say, let's pretend they're not celebrity coffees of who you would drink. I would drink the first two without any hesitation as coffees if they just came from any XYZ roaster. Beyond that, I think you kind of stopped and asked me my opinion.
What was number 3?
Number 3 was Marley, Bob Marley.
I'd probably go with the Marley.
I think
It held up a little better.
I would
because
agree.
its main attractiveness was this sort of body and sweetness, and it's retained those.
Yeah, even through cold. And cold, it might have moved up because of the other ones moved down. It seemed all.
I think so. I think I'm gonna put it number 2 actually. And,
You're gonna move it up to number 2 ahead
yeah,
of
number 3.
Really? Okay. All right. Well, now that's interesting. Okay, now I'm moving them around here. Yeah, I'd go with that.
Well, what do we have left here? We have
27 Club and Laughing Man.
27 Club. I'm putting number 4.
Yeah, already did. Laughing Man has the last laugh and the last place.
It's too bad. The roast has killed that coffee really. Even though it's 0%, maybe it's a little flat from sitting in the warehouse as well.
I don't think it's a reflection on Hugh so much, and I still like Great Showman.
I don't think it'll hurt. His business will, his reputation will crash because we didn't like his coffee.
You'd be surprised. He's gonna walk up to you someday at a supermarket, punch you in the nose, Ken.
Well, he's a pretty muscular guy. So
He is. He's got abs. Yeah. Well, you know what? Tell Jason I'm gonna have to order. Well, we'll have to do another tasting, but I definitely want to get his coffee because he has to share the blame with this on Green Mountain, and I mean I normally think Green Mountain is they're a capable roaster, but for whatever reason I guess they're capable of this too. So
probably a pretty good green coffee to start with. They don't ship any really inferior coffees out of Wheeler, I don't think.
I don't think it's Wheeler.
So it's probably the roast.
I think it's somewhere in Vermont, or Canada, I believe.
Let me say that for celebrity coffees, I'm impressed. Because the only one that came out the way I expected was the Laughing Man. In other words, I expected lifeless gestures, right? Roasted dark, ordinary coffee roasted a little too dark. That's what I expected, and I think there's a little bit of something approaching classicism in a couple of these, and then we have the full-on edgy specialty small batch with Tanzania from Romero, George C. Romero.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. George is cool. I would like to do a rematch sometime in the near future where we do another celebrity round, and this time I swear I'm going to find the real Laughing Man if it's available, and I'm going to get and the new 27 Club coffee. We'll have a chance to taste it before that.
All right. Well, get some women celebrities in here too. You know.
I'll try. They gotta roast them for me.
Yeah.
They got to be available, and I'm open to everybody that roasts coffee.
Okay.
It's fascinating.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Ken.